Hey guys, Craig Wetter here, and today I'd like to tell you 10 things that you should know about the wedge before going for your first time. As we all know, the wedge is one of the best and most powerful waves in California and produces some of the most top-notch content for all the bodyboarders and surfers out there. It's known for its big waves, big crowds, and quite honestly, a proving ground for just about anyone that goes out there. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting at number 1, the parking lot will fill up. There are a couple of streets that you can park at. If you don't get there early enough in the morning or even in the afternoon, it will fill up just because the streets kind of stack up next to each other. So if you're worried about not getting a parking spot, just get there early. There are also street sweeping days on Mondays and Wednesdays, so be mindful of that. Number 2, there are people everywhere. If you're there for a big swell event, there 100% is going to be people all over the beach, all in the water, so be ready to deal with big crowds, whether you like it or not. In all of our content, you can see people stacked up in the water, stacked up on the beach. Mainly the people on the beach just want to watch the waves, but it does get crowded in the water, as you see all the time. So be ready to maybe get a little aggressive in the water. Number 3, the waves can actually hurt you. I'm sure you see all these videos of surfers, bodyboarders, kids, adults getting tossed around and coming up like it's just no big deal. The waves will actually hurt you, and a lot of people get hurt every year. You just don't really hear about it. We've had a couple people break their backs recently. I believe someone also broke their leg, so it really is an enter at your own risk sort of deal. I always tell people it's just a heavy closeout with a side wave in it, which sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but more often than not, there are a lot of closeouts and it's very shallow. So if you're going out there, be ready to get tossed around at least a couple times. Number 4, just like most shore breaks, the backwash is always in play. Usually during high tides, there are massive backwashes. The berm on the beach builds up and creates a wall that basically just slings it right back out into the lineup. So if you're on that wave that's coming in, you better be ready for a wave that's coming at you. Sometimes it does help us when we're trying to get a good ramp, but usually if you're just pulling into a closeout, it just amplifies the pain. And quite honestly, it can ruin the ramps too. So if you're going out there, just be ready for all that. Number 5, don't wear a leash. There are so many people that wear leashes out there, and what's happened to me and Tanner and Tristan and all the guys is that when you wear a leash, the wave is so powerful that it just throws you around, it throws your board around. Your leash can wrap around you, around your board, it can damage your board. The wave breaks so close to the shore that you really just wash up onto the beach anyways and you can chase it down. There's really no reason to wear a leash unless you're trying to hurt your own self or hurt your equipment. So in my humble opinion, don't wear a leash. Number 6, just like everywhere else in the world, there are locals, there is a pecking order, so when you paddle out, definitely respect who's out there. Don't go scrapping for any wave that comes in. Wait your turn, maybe even talk to the guys, talk to us, and just get what you can. Don't be a nuisance. There's already enough danger out there as it is. Everyone starts paddling for waves and missing waves and landing on each other's heads. It's not safe. So when you paddle out, just cruise, check it out, and slowly work your way up. Number 7, 80% of the season, the water is colder at Wedge than it is at most beaches in the area. I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, it's always been so much colder in that little corner pocket. And there have been many a times where I've shown up in the summer with a spring suit, and it has been the worst call I think I've maybe ever made. So if you're going, always have a full suit as a backup. You never know what kind of upwelling is going on out there and what the temperature is in that little area. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Always be prepared in case it is cold. Number 8, the last couple of years, there has been exposed rocks on the inside corner. You usually can't see them, but if you're sitting there on the inside kind of waiting for a side wave, you will kick one and you will quickly realize where they are. When there's no side wave, making the drop from the peak is crucial. That is how a lot of people get hurt out there. and it's usually because they don't even know the rocks are there. So if you're dropping in on the peak and it's a day where the waves are breaking closer to the jetty than they usually would be, try your hardest to make the drop from the peak. If you don't, you are at risk of really hurting yourself by hitting those rocks on the inside. These last two have been real inconveniences to just about anyone that's gone to the Wedge to surf, watch, or anything of that manner. Number 9, there are no bathrooms at the Wedge. I believe the closest bathroom may be about 5 to 10 minutes away on the peninsula at one of the gas stations, restaurants. So if you're going out there, be sure you're ready. And number 10, there is no shower at the Wedge. Most beaches in this area do have a shower you can wash off at after you surf or even just go in the water. The Wedge does not. So if you're one of those people that likes to wash off after they surf, do whatever you got to do to get some fresh water there, because there's no showers and you're usually driving away super salty and super sandy. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed those 10 fun little facts about the Wedge in Newport Beach. If there's anything you think that I missed, drop it in the comments, give us a like, and subscribe for more. We really appreciate you guys watching all our content, and we're just starting to get into peak wedge season here soon. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the water.